Tank Nerds, Lottie here again. I'm back to some sort of schedule, if you can call it that. So yeah, I'm going to keep trying to make more videos. Anyway, today we are back inside the Ferret after a long hiatus. The majority of the inside is done as far as prettiness goes. So it was all clean and shiny and repainted. It's also nice. Really pretty. Anyway, that is the easy bit. Now we get all the hard bits, which is dealing with British electrics. Because they suck. There's no two ways about it. The British don't know how to make good electrics. I don't know, it's like saying the sky is blue, which today it actually is. I don't know if you can see that. Try and zoom in. No, can't zoom in or out with this mode. Anyway, it looks white in the picture, but believe me, it's actually a very nice blue. Anyway, just as the sky is blue, the British can't make good electrics. If you're British and watching, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, but they suck. And I'm going to prove it. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, in front of me are the junction / regulator boxes for the main power system. These ones go to the batteries. So this one's battery positive, battery negative. Actually, yeah, this one goes to the starter motor, this one goes to the battery. Likewise, on the other side, there should be more down here. There you go. So what I've done is I've taken this box off that face, and I am pleasantly surprised with the internals. They've been well preserved, and they're nice and supple. So I'm going to try and get the light back on it. So much easier with a lead light. Anyway, yeah, so these are nice and supple. They're not cracking. They're not horrifically disfigured, which is really nice. And it's still got that like cosmoline preserving stuff all over it, which is really good. The internal of this one looks very much the same, which we are very happy about. But that's not the problem. The problem is when we get to the outside. The wires they have used are just not designed, trying to move the light back in, are just not designed for any sort of longevity outside of their protective casing. So all of these wires, this is, let me just check, INS, so that's this one here. This yellow wire and this yellow wire, is it the B, R, yep, R in it. These two yellow wires are these two wires here. The exact same wires. They go from there to there. They just pass through this little rubber boot here. And you can see the difference. So nice and yellow and supple to one doesn't even have a sleeve anymore, and it's quite hard. Like, I can't really sort of bend it without feeling it sort of crack. And likewise, this one's gone the same way. I can break all that shielding off with my fingernail. So yeah, that is just no bueno. Not happening. So what we're going to have to do is unplug them, take these off, put new wires in here, feed it all the way through, which is going to suck actually, trying to get it through there, the little rubber boot, little rubber grommet I should say. But that shouldn't actually be too hard, just a pain in the butt. And then we're just going to have to backtrack all of these wires. Look at all that. That's awful. Fire hazard, fire hazard, fire hazard, fire hazard, fire hazard. All of this is just waiting to burn up and destroy itself, which we're not happy with. Some of them have also already cracked. I'm trying to find one that I had earlier. There we go. There's one. That did have a cable going to it. at one point, but it doesn't anymore because it's all cracked off. So yeah, my job today is to basically strip all of this out, memorize where it all goes. I'm just going to write it down, then take pictures, which is also part of the reason why I'm doing this video, so I can retrace my steps and figure out which one is which. So I'm not touching the blue wires, I'm not touching the big ones, it's only the 2 yellow ones. So do those, and likewise these wires that go into the back here, they need redoing as well. I'm gonna leave a lot of the big wires because they're actually not too bad, and with a bit of paint, they're still fairly supple. It's just these little crappy yellow wires that they've used, they've completely disintegrated. So yeah, that's my job for today, replacing all these wires. And at some point I'm gonna have to tackle the deep dark black hole of birds' nests on the side, so you can see one on the left and one on the right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do that at some point, and I'm really not looking forward to doing that. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm not looking forward to this at all. I hate wiring at the best of times because it's so fiddly and nonsensical, and I just especially hate doing British stuff. To their credit, they mark everything, which is good. But God, they just use the worst wiring. Yeah, it's really not a surprise when British stuff burns down and burns out, because this stuff was just subpar. I don't know what to tell you. So again, if you're British, sorry, but your wires suck for outside usage or any external usage. So, alright, let's get into it. And we're back. Yeah, it's just too annoying to try and film it, but I can show you the end results. I can turn it around. But yeah, so yeah, I have cut these bits off so you can see where they go from good to bad. So I just cut them off. That's what's left of them, and I have replaced them with nice new wire. So I've fed it through the little rubber grommet. They go through, down, they're sitting nice and tight, not coming loose anytime. And yeah, now they're color coded too, but I'll tag them as well. Not sure what fittings we're gonna put on. I don't have clip connectors on me, so I'm just gonna leave these as bare wires, and then eventually I will find a replacement for these, because there's no way I'm reusing these. These are just terrible. And even the little holder that bolts onto the side here, I don't know if I've still got it. It might be somewhere. Anyway, there's like a little holder that like holds all that together, and it is also like a plasticky rubber and is completely deteriorated, so these couldn't get held on to anyway. So that's part one of doing this section. Everything else in here is pretty good. All the wires coming out are still nice. I was a little bit concerned about this one, but it's still nice and supple, and there's no cracks on the surface, just a bit of paint, which is really good. And these ones, not sure about these connectors, but that is a problem for later Lottie, so I know she can get angry with me if she wants. Yeah, alright, I think that'll do. Next I'm gonna have to sort of tackle this mess here. And we are back. It's been a couple of hours. Obviously I am so much more tired than I was when I started filming this. You can see I've given up on tying my hair up. So yeah, we're in messy stage of doing wiring. Like my hair. Anyway, good news and bad news. So, good news first. I've cleaned it up a fair bit. I've spent the past, there's lots of stuff in front of me. There's a ton of wires in there that were all crappy. These ones I'm annoyed with because they are a 4-way connector. So I'm gonna have to get a new connector because those ones are terrible, and I've only got single connectors, so I can't do those just yet. Just about to work on those ones, but then I found this cable here, which is RL1, and there's one over there called RL2. Now I don't have a full wiring diagram with me, so I am currently trying to figure out what those are. Presumably they connect together, but you can't be sure. So one comes out and one goes into the back. It might be for the indicators, not sure yet, but I thought while I'm here I might as well try to go forward and have a look. And so I haven't looked at the wiring because I was painting, so I basically just put a bag over all of these just to keep them from getting paint on them, so I can come back and go through them now. And this is why, if you are ever doing your own work, just tell people what you've done, because alright, I think it's a lot easier to see what's happened on this side. So this is like a conduit. So wire in, connection, wire out, so you can unplug it. Essentially it would plug to all these things, so you can take them all off and just use that as a conduit. It's supposed to be like a inner clustering of wires and then an outer clustering of wires along these, so like rubber boots with like connections along the outside. And someone's loosened this one and it's fallen through. So I'm just gonna like have to tidy them ones up, because these ones are actually alright. And I'd rather not have to go and rewire all of them. So they look alright. So I'm just gonna sort of shove them back into that little brackety holder thing there. But this side is inexcusable. They not only have they all pulled them out, but they've pulled the backing out of these. These little rubber boots are not easy to remove. Try and focus that. They're not easy to remove. Someone actually had to physically pull it out the back. There's a really loud bus outside at the moment. That's that rumbling in the background. Anyway, this little booty is supposed to be in there for waterproofing, and they're pretty hard to pull out. Trust me, I know, because I had to do it on that one. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna have to fix that, put it all back together, because that just looks tacky having it hanging down like that. But yeah, so not only have they done that, but they've actually taken all of the connectors off the side and they've left them there, and they've forced the bracket open. So now it just looks like a really yucky bird's nest wire soup. So yeah, not happy about that. I'm gonna have to put it all back together. I don't like having to do people's work. It's much easier when you're coming into it and just doing all the work. Having to fix other people's work is when it gets really complicated and really difficult. That's why I label everything. So if I drop dead, people just can come in and go, oh, labels, which is really good. I wish more people did that. Do it. I think I'm just gonna like maybe end the video here, because there's no way I'm getting the rest of this done by the end of today. So video is either gonna end right now, in which case comment something or whatever. Tell me about all the times that you've had to fix other people's stuff, especially British wiring. Or I'm gonna keep filming. You'll find out before I do. Okay.